Hello new vlog, thank you for joining me on a steamy Saturday evening. I don't know why steamy was the adjective of choice there, but life and reading update. I have an ice water, so I've achieved my final form. And the book that I currently am reading is called A Kiss at Midnight by Eloisa James. I just finished a 600-page book and then another book about women's rights being taken away that was really dark. I mean, I could have just said The Handmaid's Tale, but just wanted to let you know, like, the two things I've read back to back were very intense and grueling. So I wanted a break from everything. I was going to read Belle Revolt, of which I forgot to bring my copy in here, but I got it for review from Sourcebooks, and I read the first 2 chapters. And I didn't like it at all. The description of the book happens in the first chapter, so it's already super rushed. The characters are really unrealistic, the magic system is stupid to me. And so I was just flipping through the book like, do I want to read this? Like, is this gonna get better? Is this for me? And then I saw that the author has a MFA in fiction. Girl, get a refund. It's so mean, but I just was not enjoying it. And it could get better, but I have 200 other books to read and I don't want to sit my way through a book that I think is going to get like 1 or 2 stars based on the first couple chapters. So instead I started this romance book. This is a first book in a quartet that is Regency romance books. And I don't know what the word Regency means, but I just mean like historical fiction romance. So hopefully Regency just kind of encapsulates all that. This is a quartet of fairy tale retellings set in England in the 16 to 1800s. I don't know the difference between all those time periods. This first one is clearly Cinderella. So it is about this girl whose father and mother dies. She's at the whims of her stepmother, and this girl's stepsister is engaged to this man. It's a really whirlwind relationship, so they haven't even met each other's families. But the week before, she's going to meet this guy's like rich family and the people who will basically like sign off approval to get her married. She gets bitten in the face by one of her dogs and she's really ugly and doesn't want to do it. So the sister has to go in her place. And I love this book so far. I was really nervous going into this book because I kind of got it on a whim. I just googled like feminist historical romance because I do want to get more into it. She do be wanting to get more into it though. And I read this a little bit earlier today. I'm on page 40 and it's so good. It's really well written. The character's really strong and genuine and she stands up for herself in a way that's authentic and not just like the author imposing like, this is a strong woman, watch her be strong. I just need to find that sweet spot in historical romance where there's a lot of the historical aspect but also the characters are interesting and also there's steamy scenes, because I feel like a lot of historical romance is very chaste and PG and I'm trying to get that good. So this is a call for you to send me all of your recommendations. But before bed I want to get a couple more chapters into this because I'm liking it a lot. Hello, why do I look so good? Oh my god. This is like the stupidest clip ever, but every time I turn on the vlog camera or like I edit my vlogs, I'm like, ew, I look gross. I look so cute. Okay, anyway, today I woke up and went to brunch with my family. We went to good old Cracker Barrel. I got the Marsha's Buckeyes. If you haven't had these, hello. They had my favorite brand of candle on clearance. So I got like this big ass woodwick candle for 12 bucks and there's like 20 for one that's half this size. So that's my mini haul for the day. I'm gonna go on the couch, read some more of my romance book. Again, I'm really liking it. It's super fun and the characters are all like funny and I just really am liking it. There's my Rosie. Oh my goodness.
3 weeks later.
Hi. I'm either gonna start this clip and it's gonna go great and we're gonna keep going, or I'm gonna get 2 seconds into it and get upset at how I'm speaking. So far so good. We need to catch up on all the books and all the stuff that I've been reading lately because I keep reading and not updating about it other than Goodreads, which following Goodreads. So I literally have a stack of books. Some of these are books I've recently read, some of them I'm currently reading, and some of them I just recently acquired and need to discuss. So books I recently read. I spent about 2 weeks reading A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. This is a 700-page massive adult fiction book. It follows this friend group that goes to college together, and it shows them growing up over like 30 years after they graduate college. This follows Jude, who is one of the members of that friend group, and he is the most troubled, and by that I mean he has endured a indescribable amount of pain in his life. He's physically disabled, he cannot talk about his past because so much has happened to him, and it follows the struggles that he faces, and it's about the whole friend group but mainly about him. And for like 400 pages I wasn't really feeling this book, and then it just took a turn and like everything made me cry. I have clips of me reading the end of this book, which I'll insert now. This book hurts so much. I literally can't breathe. I've been crying for 45 minutes and I still have 50 pages left. So update. I really can't breathe. I finished the book. So yeah, this was one of the most heavy emotional books I've ever read. It's really traumatizing and really heartbreaking. Definite trigger warnings for like everything. Definitely self-harm and sexual assault. I gave this book a full 5 stars. It's magnificent, but like I said, it's like one of the most graphic and like emotionally heavy books that I've ever read. And speaking of me reading really happy books lately, the next book I finished today, and I've got the audiobook for The Lovely Bones by Alice Sebold. The only reason I have this and I wanted to read it is because this is such a widely known book, and I've always had like in the back of my head I want to read as many of the like most popular books on Goodreads as I can, and this is like one of the easiest ones that's not like Dante's Inferno or something. So I listened to this on audio, and I remembered while I was reading this why I've kind of stopped listening to audiobooks, because I was listening to it but I was also like cleaning my apartment and like playing Best Fiends, so I was doing something else while I was ingesting it, and I feel like I'm just not gonna remember anything about this in 2 weeks. So I liked it, and I don't know if this is like a user error of me not fully listening to it or if it's just like an okay book. It was okay. I have no lasting commentary on it. I see why it's really popular, but I feel like you have to be more religious than I am to feel like the true comfort of like the afterlife part of it, and like how your relatives are looking down on you from heaven. There's also a little bit of fabulism in this, which I just looked up that word today because I didn't want to say magical realism. I think fabulism kind of encompasses how there's that aspect that there's a heaven and an afterlife, and at the end of the book she's able to interact with the human world after she passes away, so there's a little bit of an element that's like not realistic for me, and it was difficult to grasp that and get into the story. So I gave this one 3 stars. I'm glad I read it just because I want to know like what happens, why is it so popular. So for that, it was good. I wouldn't be shocked if I unhauled this in a few years because it just didn't stick with me at all. My camera has low battery, but I'm gonna try and get to these 3 books I'm currently reading. So the next book that I wanted to read after I finished A Little Life in all these books, by the way, these are some of the oldest books on my TBR, and I'm trying to like knock a lot of those out. So the next book on that quest would be 1984 by George Orwell. I already like sectioned off with sticky tabs like the different parts of this that I could read per day, but I got 10 pages into it and then realized I'm not loving it. And I think I need a break from like really happy, uplifting, inspiring books. I almost wanted to tweet like, is this book even worth reading if I'm not reading it for school? I might just like not finish this one, but I also might just need to give it some more time. So I'm putting this one on the back burner. Let me know your comments. Another book I started is Sula by Toni Morrison. I have a couple Toni Morrison books that I want to read, and this one was the one that interested me more. This one is about 2 women in a small town in Ohio, I think. One of them is raised by a mother who is super open about sex and like kind of more carefree, not really conservative or traditional, and so when she grows up, she moves away and she is more unafraid to pursue non-conventional, this is making no sense, but basically she's like more slutty, like I don't know a better word for it, that's not what I mean at all, but like that's the only way I can describe this. And then the other character this follows is very much more conservative, and then she stays in that town her whole life and never leaves. So whenever this woman, Sula, who goes off, comes back to her hometown. They kind of have this confrontation of their different personalities. I'm 46 pages into this one. Really still haven't interacted very much with the two characters it says will follow, but I have less than 100 pages left. This book is so short. So I really enjoyed The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison when I read it last year, so I thought a good nod to Black History Month would be to read this. As always, I love Toni Morrison's writing, but it's not the most fascinating book. Like, I'm not itching to pick it up, so I'm waiting for the pace to get a little bit better on that. And then the last book I'm reading, I started a new audiobook because I wasn't done cleaning and I needed to have something going while I was working. I started A Duke by Default by Alyssa Cole after listening to 2 chapters of the wrong book in the series. I started book 3 on accident instead of book 2. So this is a romance series. The first book is A Princess in Theory. I think I gave that one like 4 stars. And this is about her friend named Portia. Portia just got over like a really bad drinking habit, and so she's trying to turn her life around, and she goes to Scotland and has like this weird unpaid internship at like this sword making company. It's very funny so far. Whenever there's texts between all the friends, there's like emojis and stuff. I'm really enjoying this one on audio. Also, I know that Alyssa Cole writes really good steamy scenes, so looking forward to her. Good morning. I'm like halfway through my makeup routine and I just realized, 1, I could be listening to my audiobook right now and I'm not. And 2, I told myself I'd vlog this morning to update everything I did last night. So besides painting my nails, I listened further in my audiobook for A Duke by Default. And now I'm on page 113. It's so cute. It's so fun. One of the main reasons I really like it is because the main character is in digital marketing, which is what I do. So she's like, oh, we gotta fix this guy's website. And I'm like, oh my God, me. So I can relate to her profession and her Hello? So it's just a jam of a time. So I'm gonna continue the audiobook as I finish my makeup, then while I'm in the car. I'm really bad at listening to audiobooks while driving because whenever I need to like merge lanes or something, I usually panic and then I'll stop listening. But we're gonna try again. Okay. Oh. I'm vlogging.
I'm so proud of you.
Kristen got back from her trip to Mexico
And she brought me an Elsa. I'm so happy. I'm literally vlogging in work with everyone seeing me. I closed my eyes because you said you had a surprise. Hi. I miss everyone. I'm really glad you're vlogging again.
Me too. I love money. Hello, let me open the windows, let in some sunlight. Welcome back to my apartment after work. Oh, why? That's my question, why? So, oh, that's my badge. First of all, if you recognize this sweater, you qualify for a senior discount. I'm feeling really good today. Like, I'm on my period, so I shouldn't. Maybe it's the period hormones. Gordo said TMI. I agree. Anyway, I have a complaint. I went to listen to my audiobook this morning. Remember how I was like, oh, I should have been listening to it this whole time. It didn't work. Literally, Scribd made this book unavailable overnight, or like something happened where I don't have access to this anymore. I'm so upset. I have heard that this audiobook is on Spotify. For those of y'all who have Spotify, there's audiobooks on Spotify, but you can't adjust the playback speed, and I think I would rather step on broken glass than to listen to an audiobook at 1 times speed, because it's like half the speed I would normally read if I was reading it physically, so it's obnoxious. I'm gonna have to hunt down the audiobook for this from my library. It might take a couple weeks to get to it. So in the meantime, I think I'm gonna focus on Sula. I don't have a reading update. I just have a book haul. Before you ask, no, I'm not being sponsored. No, they didn't send this to me. I have an explanation. Oh, you can see that. Sorry, y'all. Gordo, stop rubbing your face on my camera. Nasty. I mean, good boy, that's so cute, but nasty. So back in December, one of the books of the month was Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston, which is like my favorite book of last year. It's so good. I wanted the hardcover copy, and I wanted to get a hardcover copy for my friend Bonnie, whose channel you should go check out. She's my favorite person ever. And so I signed up with like the special booktube link where you could get a book for $5, and I did that with 2 emails, so I could get 2 copies. And I forgot to cancel my subscription. So I have 2 accounts, both which have 2 credits on them. And I'm gonna be real with y'all. there's really no books of the month I'm interested in, so I'm gonna cancel it. And y'all can hold me to this. If they ever try and sponsor me, you can pull this video back of me saying I don't care about them. So I bought this with my own money, and it's not even for me. I sent the link to Ryan, my coworker, and I was like, I'm not interested in any of these February books. Do you want any of these? And he was like, oh, American Dirt sounds cool. I said, you're not getting that one, pick a different one. He chose, oh great, these are both wrapped in plastic because books of the month is so environmentally conscious. Why am I roasting book of the month? I promise this is not a dig at any booktuber who partners with them. Anyway, the book Ryan wanted was The Holdout by Graham Moore, which I've never heard of. The tagline is, one juror changed the verdict. What if she was wrong? So it's thriller, mystery-esque, like policeman, I don't know. But because I had an extra credit, I got an add-on book, which like was free. So I got a book for me that I've been eyeing for a little bit, which is A Gentleman in Moscow by Amort. I know it's not towels. Maybe it is towels, I don't know, that's just my first instinct. All I know about this book is that it was one of Obama's favorite books of the year, which in itself is glowing high praise that I don't need to know more about. So it's about this main character who is sentenced to house arrest in Russia. So now he lives his life in an attic room, and then within the hotel that he's in house arrest with, he starts to make friends. But suddenly fate puts the life of a young girl in his hands, and he must protect the future she deserves. Something about this has always just intrigued me. I love the era of this. I've never read, I don't think I've read historical fiction set in Russia. So this was one of the only titles that I would like caught my eye other than getting a third copy of The Secret History. So I wanted to get a book I haven't read. And this is one of the only books I've actually like purchased with money this year. That sounds like I stole all the other books, but no. So that's book of the month. As much as I want to say, now I'm just gonna sit down and read Sula, of which I'm on page 80. I actually have to go grocery shopping. I've been putting it off for 2 weeks. And my kittens are meowing at me because they want their dinner. Are you so hungry? Good evening. So I was waiting for a video to upload and I finished reading Sula. Not gonna lie, I skimmed the last 20 pages. I just wasn't feeling it. I feel like this is a book I need to read with a club or for class. It feels like there were a lot of dots on the map that were supposed to connect and I just wasn't getting that connection. Like the writing style was beautiful and it made a lot of great quotes, but I just didn't get the overarching story, and there were a lot of pieces that didn't quite fit into me. So whenever it would focus on those pieces, I'd get really bored. And it's like 150 pages of a book, so it's like difficult to be bored when you're only there for that much time. I just didn't really enjoy it, other than the writing style being really strong and liking the characters, the two main characters that I thought it would focus on, but it actually focuses on like a handful more. So I think I'm gonna give that like 3 stars. And I feel bad because every time I rate a classic lower than 5 stars, all these pompous white guys always reply like, this book is a masterpiece and you didn't interpret it correctly and your reviewer credibility is now lower because you didn't understand this book. But whatever, like I didn't get it. I'm reading a classic on my own time and I usually read like kissing books like this, so I tried. Speaking of kissing books like this, I'm still upsetty spaghetti that Scribd doesn't have the audiobook anymore and I have to wait for it. I don't mind reading mass market paperbacks. It just takes away a piece of my soul every time I do because they're so difficult to read and these wrists hurt. So I think I'm gonna get the ebook from my library instead. Gals who vlog in the bathroom together stay together. This, I told you this earlier, this is the interview outfit that I bought to interview at PetSmart when I was 18. I mean, I added the leather jacket. I'm trying to show my outfit.
Well, I want to see your outfit on my Snapchat.
So other than the leather jacket, this is what I wore to go be like, hi, let me take care of your dogs. Can we go to lunch now?
Yeah, forgot my
Oh no! She got broken foot. She just did gazelle leap. Lunch bunch, lunch bunch, lunch bunch, lunch bunch, lunch bunch, lunch bunch.
Lunch bunch.
I'm like giving Ryan his 5 seconds of vlog time, and it's over.
Everyone screams because they're so in love with him.
Actually, now that the camera's on me, I don't know what to say. I'm so out of practice.
I'm so proud of you for vlogging again, though.
I'm so proud of me. I always get proud of myself that I vlog somewhere other than home, but then I sit down to edit the vlog, I'm like, this added no substance.
Well, yes, it did, because there's a little bit of substance. Food is substance.
Oh, sustenance?
Oh. No, is that really it? Are you bringing it?
Hi, vlog squad. Happy Thursday. Gordo is editing my vlog for me, having a nice sip of water. Okay, that joke was over before I made it. I haven't been reading the past couple days, so I haven't been recording myself, but remember how I said that Scribd took my audiobook off? Somehow today it went back on, so I'm going to continue listening to the audiobook for this. I have not really read since I last updated, but I did receive this package today. If you've been here for past few vlogs, you will know about my relationship with FairyLoot. My hair. Okay. FairyLoot is the subscription service that does sci-fi fantasy books, and I am so upset I did not subscribe sooner because all last year they were releasing like all my favorite books in their boxes with exclusive editions. So I decided this year I'm gonna splurge and get myself it, and they offered to refund me for 3 months of my order because they wanted me to unbox them for free on my channel. So this is box 3 out of 3, and this box is like bulging. I think because of this. First are the tarot cards that we get with every box. I don't know who these characters are. Oh, is it Strange the Dreamer? It might be Strange the Dreamer. I think it's Laszlo and what's her face from Strange the Dreamer. Okay, serpent, ceramic mug. Shut the front door. Okay, I already know this box is gonna be my favorite so far. Oh my God, I love it. So it has Reed on this side, then you rotate, there's a dove and a serpent, and then there's Lou. I loved this book. This is one of the most gorgeous mugs I've ever seen. Wow, like I could stop unboxing and this alone would be worth it. We still have a lot more though. That was just one item out of like 10. Okay, next I see some bookmarks down the side. Oh, it's Jay Kristoff. Okay. Okay, the next item I see is also kind of large. It either looks like 6 of Crows or runes. I don't know. Wait, is this a tapestry? Is it a scarf? Is this, hold on. Before I make a fool out of myself. I don't wanna like spoil myself. I'm spoiling myself. Okay, just an art print. Yep, see, I would have made a fool of myself if I would have worn this as a scarf the entire time. It's got like thorns and kitties. Cute! You could wear it as a scarf if you wanted to. I should have just waited to check what it was till the end. I'm so mad I spoiled it. What's this? Oh my God, a luggage tag. I would have never known. So this luggage tag just says one does not simply walk into Mordor, which is a, what, 2008 meme? And not gonna lie, I read Lord of the Rings for class, but do not care to ever reread it or ever see it, so I'll probably pass this on to someone else. Okay, ooh, is this chapstick? I think this is Wicked Saints inspired because I think the name is Malachi, but hello, Gordo. It's not for you, it's for the camera. It says Malachi, but there's a lot of extra letters, so I think that's that, what, Polishness coming out? And it smells like strawberries. Let me give her a sniff. Oh my God, yeah, that smells really good. Cool, I'm gonna put this on my desk at work and use it 7 times an hour. There's also this sticker that says too many books, too few centuries. That's cute. I've never heard that quote before. There's an art print, not sure of who. At this point, I might as well read the spoiler card. Oh, We Hunt the Flame. Okay, have not read it. I'll hold on to this until I do, and until then I'll stick it in that book, and if I ever get rid of it or don't read it, then that person can have a free art print. That's nice. We have arrived. As always, the book comes in our little FairyLoot bag, which would double well as a produce bag. FairyLoot books always have like special editions. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Okay. Ooh, Ooh, I've heard of this before. I think it was red before. Let me double check. It's in this little pamphlet. It is red. Okay, so it went from red to purple for this edition. Oh my god, it's so pretty. I think the first couple lines of this synopsis speaks for itself. Alessandra is tired of being overlooked, but she has a plan to gain power. Number 1, woo the Shadow King. Number 2, marry him. Number 3, kill him and take his kingdom for herself. This feels very like Cruel Prince-ish, but it's pretty short. It's like less than 300 pages. So I know that this book has a different cover, artwork on the reverse of the jacket, and embossing on the hardcover. So let's check out the embossing first. Okay, it's got a couple nice roses. My favorite part is always the art on the dust jacket. So just let me take like a little peek. Anything dealing with Shadow Kings, I'm obsessed with, and this is so cool. I love him already. I also love the purple vibe. Oh my gosh, the spine is silver. Shut the front door. Okay, I'm just like freaking out. I'm sorry, I'm just flipping through this, and the author describes it as a Slytherin romance. So if that's for you, it's for you. My hair's just been doing crazy things. I'm gonna take it out and put it back up. But for the rest of my life, I'm going to be cherishing this serpent mug that actually has a serpent on the bottom of it. So it's a serpent and a dove. Love her. So FairyLoot, it's been a pleasure. I'm gonna keep paying for my subscription. Good morning. Hi, you gonna say good morning? You're a good boy. So I just woke up this Saturday morning. My parents brought me a package yesterday when they came and visited, and the book that was in the package is a finished copy of The Electric Air by Victoria Lee. I have this in an ARC, and that paperback matches the paperback that I own of the first book, so I don't need a second copy of this. I feel super bad that the publisher sent me one, because I'd rather have my paperback ARC. I'm not sure what the plot of it is. I think it's one of those books where like an illness has killed people off and the people who remain were granted powers. Okay. Okay. All right. Yep. I'm gonna go get about my day and I will update you how much I read because I'm trying to finish my book this weekend. It's kind of ridiculous that half the reason I'm not reading my book is because it's a mass market paperback and I hate reading mass market paperbacks, so. We are cat on the balcony. Do you like the balcony, cat? It is now Sunday, my dudes. Yesterday, I did not get as much accomplished as I wanted to. I listened to part of my audiobook and I read some of my book physically, so now I'm on page 278. So I have like 90 pages left. My phone keeps dying, otherwise I would put on the audiobook. I have like 10% left. But I'm gonna read as I have some of my chili I just heated up. Hi everyone, it's been about a day since I've updated. Yesterday, I just hung out with Kristen and Ryan until like 10 or 11 p.m. But I got home and I worked out. And I felt good about myself because I got home at like midnight and I was in bed and I read before I fell asleep. So I felt productive. Did I record any of that? No. Off the record, does my hair look good today? I did a new thing where I like crumped it with gel. So, I don't know. I made it to page 292 of A Duke by Default. And last night while I was reading, I was like, oh, I thought of a comment that I could say in my review, because for the past couple of days I felt like I really have nothing to say about this. But you know, now I don't remember. Oh, I remember. So my biggest complaint, and it's not even really a complaint, the main character and I are super similar. This book is more like work than fun, because it's like a workplace novel. It's like her and her boss, even though it's in Scotland at like this really cool job. She does digital marketing and I do digital marketing, so I feel like we're so similar, and the entire book is just her doing that, and I'm like, ugh. I do that all day, then I come home from work and read about it. And also, I feel like this is just one rung above my age level, which I know like age levels and reading like does not matter. You can read whatever you want to read. But it's just like a little bit out of my reach to being relatable, and like the way it's written is kind of like, no offense, but it's a little bit mom Facebook-ish. The lingo used is just a little bit behind its time, or even if it is during its time, the way it's used is just like a little bit like, oh mom, you would post that on Facebook. I don't want to generalize it by being like, oh, it's a mass market paperback romance. Like, what did I expect from it? Like, it would be actually good. I don't want it to sound like that, but for me, it's just like average. And that could just be because it's taking me so long to read that I'm not like ingesting it fully. But who's to say? I'm just a sweaty gal waiting for my water to boil so I can make potatoes. So I've got like 70 more pages of this. I'm gonna eat dinner, work out, and then try and finish the rest of this tonight. So I just realized once I do that, I have no idea what I'm gonna read next. So that'll be interesting.
Hi, baby.
Because I didn't read it all yesterday like I planned to. Don't tag me. I only have like 60 pages left of my book. I'm gonna listen to my audiobook while I clean, and then if I haven't finished that, I'll go to the gym and listen to the rest of it. You were joined by red-faced Whitney because I did go work out. I did listen to my audiobook as I worked out, and then I showered, and now I'm in bed. I have completed my mission. Tonight I made these like peanut butter chocolate granola cups, so I'm gonna try this in a second. But I read to page 346 of my audiobook, so I'm just gonna finish up like the last 20 or 30 pages, which will only take like 20 or 30 minutes. I forgot I made myself an ice water before I left. Ugh, past Whitney, I love her. Delectable. I convinced myself to go to the gym every day because the feeling right now of like getting into bed freshly showered, like it's just unbeatable. I'm gonna dig into the rest of my book. I'll do a full review like before bed when I finish it. Okay, I finished the book and I chose the next one I want to read, so update time. So I think I'm gonna give this book 3 stars. I don't have much to add to my previous review, but I know I mentioned earlier that this book is like so realistic, like it's so similar to my life because she's in marketing. But really, I know I contradict myself saying this, it's also like wildly unrealistic. And I know most romance books are like not realistic, but I just couldn't suspend my disbelief for this one. And like I said, the references in this were a little bit dated, like the humor style isn't my thing. Like it would make Honey Badger jokes, and like Honey Badger was a meme from 2011, so it's just a little bit dated even though it was published recently. I like the relationship, I like how like modern it is because the author is really mindful about like consent and feminism and all that good jazz. This book had very little smut and very little romance. It was all just kind of like, they clearly liked each other because the book's in dual POV, but they're like, oh my god, I can't pursue him. But it's like, why not? So I'm settling on a 3 stars. I'm not upset that I read it, but I'm not fiending to read the next in the series.
What are you doing, Bubba's? Is it sleepy sleep time? Oh, I hear those prayers. So I was going to read Ghosts of the Shadow Market with my friend John Paul. We're gonna buddy read it because Chain of Gold just came out, but I don't think that's happening. He just got a job. Congratulations, John Paul. I don't know if we're even gonna read that together anymore. And I need to annotate Defy Me, but I want to wait a little bit closer to the release date for Imagine Me. So I just looked at the cart next to my bed right here that the top shelf is all like books for review and books that I really want to read soon. And one of the books I saw that I've owned for the longest that I still have not reviewed is Furyborn by Claire Legrand. And I looked at it and I was like, I'm low-key in the mood for some fantasy. So I started it, I'm like on page 4. All that I know about this is that it's dual perspective about these 2 queens, or like just 2 women. I don't know if both are queens. Yeah, one's a queen, one's a bounty hunter. It's about like the legacy of the queen and how that interacts with current day, with, I think her name's Eliana. And from what I know about the world so far is that there's both magic and angels, and there's like half-bloods between humans and angels, so people have powers that way, I suppose. So it's like this book where there's a conflict that has lasted millennia. We get to hear in 2 perspectives what this drama is with the gods and whatnot. So far I'm liking it. It's a pretty simplistic writing style, so it's easy, but again, I'm on page 5, so don't have much to say about it. But I'm going to be getting a lot of vlog footage during the later half of the week, so with a book being done, I'm gonna say goodbye. Thank you for watching. I apologize for not much content lately, and maybe I sound
awkward when I film, but I'm like slowly creeping back to getting in the mood to want to talk about stuff because YouTube is hard. Oh my god. My life is so difficult. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Bye.